I mean, the stocks had a huge move, right? There was just so much money waiting on the sidelines. I think it even surprised people who had worked through and anticipated what these outcomes would look like. It's taken away a lot of the downside risks, and even a little bit of upside is now, potentially there. The exchanges, divided government, so no repeal of pre-existing conditions.
Right.
Centene and Molina have double-digit revenue exposure, so it's a really important segment for some of these names. Medicaid is an upside story now. So we have the ballot initiative. I don't think that was entirely anticipated. Something like 300,000, maybe even 500,000 new lives coming in. And then Kansas and other states, going forward may also expand. So that's an upside story. And then a number of downside risks have been taken off the table. I mean, they were low probability, but the headline risk was always there. Medicare for all. So I doubt that is going to happen.
The narrative is that Republicans have prevented a fix on Obamacare because they wanted to get rid of it. Okay. Now that we're in this post-election period, has that changed? And will President Trump be willing to say, all right, it's staying? And now let's try to, because there have been problems with premium increases and these Cadillac plans, everything else. What does it look like? What does the fix look like?
Yeah, so I mean, firstly, the question is how much of a fix do we need, right? This year, the premium growth is 3% on average, so really low. And we have, a problem with the marketing and sales because CMS has cut back on the spend. And so the companies that are offering exchange products would like that to go up. It's possible that Pelosi has some influence on CMS policy as far as exchanges go, but when you really look at the margins right now, are healthy in the mid-single to even the high single digits. And with these low premium increases, as long as the exchange market stays stable from a subsidized perspective, and you offer maybe on the short-term insurance plans more affordability for those that don't have subsidies, they're a functional market. I mean, they're not going to be so big that they actually disrupt the employer market, as we had all thought maybe 8 years ago, but they're a reasonable place to be.
Single-payer Medicare for all. I mean, what happened with this election? If Gillum had been elected, maybe that we'd be further down that road. Is it just another stopping point on the road eventually to that, or was that put to bed?
At least from a legislative standpoint in Congress, it's been put to bed. I mean, if they the Senate had also flipped, I would have expected that there would have been a lot more
noise. Some of the darling candidates
there.
of the Democratic Party, that's what they want. Why is it been put to bed? Why won't it come? Well, 2 years from now, it could come back.
Firstly, we do have divided government, so that's one, what is possible. But I guess when you actually look at, there's about $1 trillion in spend in the employer market, $1 trillion in health insurance. I mean, does the federal government want to actually pony up that, that kind of money?
Yes, it does.
Annually.
So one person's federal government wants to. That's one idea that one side has. Yeah, they do want to do that.
So that's, again, there's a lot of fiscal pressure to be able to accomplish that. Secondly, mostly the American populace is happy with their benefits, right? So Employers don't want to, get out of it.
Your favorite stocks haven't changed, have they?
My stocks, I mean, they continue to be Anthem, which had a huge run. Right. Humana, I think I feel more positive about after this election.
Okay.
Because we've taken away, this uncertainty. It's a clearing event.
What's the upside, though, in your stocks? You said now, they rallied on the results, and there's even some upside. So what's the driver of that from here?
Well, it's not anymore about policy. Right. Policy risk is off the table, but you still have growth in Medicare, huge privatization. 1 in 2 seniors possibly in the next 3 to 4 years. Medicaid continues to see expansion and privatization. And I think there's consolidation. So that's a huge piece of it. Managed care, and the deals are closing before Thanksgiving. So you'll see smaller plans, regional plans start to getting squeezed out of the market. And you have a new big five, if you will, between United, CVS, Aetna, Cigna, Express, Humana, and Anthem.